Yes. Good morning, good morning. So I'm going to do something that I have never in my life done. I'm going to sit down. I've never sat down while I gave a talk. And a few years ago, John was not feeling well, and he sat down and gave a talk. And a week later, Francis Leahy, one of our practitioners, came up to him and said, "Do you know what the rumor is all around the center? It's that you're dying." So I want you to know I'm not dying, but I have had quite a week. And what my intention was during John's great experiment, we're going to Thailand in 2 weeks. It is our 25th wedding anniversary, and we're going to spend 2 weeks in Thailand. And what I've noticed is that I started to get very anxious about this trip. It's going, we've got an 18-hour layover in the middle of the night in Tokyo, and it's a foreign country, and they eat weird food here. Although I like Thai food, I like it in America. They're under martial law, but I'm told that actually makes them safer now. So I was up there going, I really just want this trip to Thailand to go well. And I went home and just hung out in bed, no big deal. Football started Sunday, so I didn't think anything of it. Until Sunday night when I thought I was going to die. And my sister assured me that I was not going to die. But you could not have convinced me during that episode. And what I realized is that I've probably been carrying around either some kind of bacterial infection or gallbladder issue or something like that has eroded my pizzazz. And I know you would never notice that. No. But just the undermining of my view of the world and my sense of vitality and youth. I chalked it up to turning 61, and I'm so good at not looking at the condition that I just suppress stuff and ignore it and push it away. And so what I believed was going on was that whatever that underlying situation is coming to the surface to be healed, to be released. All is well, I'm fine. So that as I go to Thailand, I'm going to go and really feel good instead of going dragging and going tired and all of that. So I'm sitting here because every so often the floor moves out from under me. and although I do love the drama, I didn't think we'd push it quite that far to where I'd be not vertical, which has been the case a couple of times this week. So one of the things that I was thinking about, because today is the International Day of Peace. Happy International Day of Peace. This was a declaration made by the United Nations in 1981 saying the peoples of the earth have a right to peace. The peoples of the earth have a right to peace. Very simple, but very profound. That we have a right to peace. And if you look around at the news, you may not see that manifesting right now, but we know as we sing every Sunday after the celebration, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. And so in Science of Mind, we know that in order to have peace manifest on the outside, we have to manifest that peace within us. Or not even manifest it because it's there all the time. We need to stop running away from it, stop changing it, stop drawing lines in the sand. I'm so amazed at how many times, it's easy to point the finger at the country and the desert that draws the line in the sand and then bombs the other guys and how low consciousness they are and how they shouldn't do that. And then we go out to the parking lot and somebody wants our parking space that we were waiting for, and that's our line in the sand. Or someone doesn't say what we expected them to say, or someone doesn't do what we expected them to do, and that's our line in the sand. And it amazes me still how easily those of us on the spiritual path draw a line in the sand. We are too quick to draw our line in the sand. So my message to you today is stop it. Stop drawing a line in the sand. Stop taking offense. It doesn't matter if offense is intended or not. Don't take it. They can give it to you all they want. If you don't take it, you don't get it. What happens is when we are not sure about who we are, then we expect our sense of self to come from the outside. Deepak Chopra called it outer reference. And if that doesn't happen exactly the way we think it should, then our sense of who we are is not stable. And so we freak out. And when that happens, we go to war. I need, in order to feel safe about who I am, I need you to be a certain way. And if you're not that way, then I don't know who I am, and so I will usually go to war. And it may look like all kinds of things. It may be looking like a victim, it may be looking like a perpetrator, it may be looking like a rescuer, because they're all the same triangle once you jump in there. And when we don't know who we are, someone can challenge who we are. When we know who we are, people can come right up to our face and say, you're a terrible person. I've had that happen. It's okay. As long as you know who you are, you're fine. You're a terrible person. You're leading all these people down the road to hell. And you don't know how many good thinking Christians have really cautioned me to stop this because they are concerned about your eternity. And how they keep affirming that you're going to be experiencing this experience of hell, which when Jesus talked about it, it was really just the garbage dumps outside of Jerusalem. That's really all it was. So when we don't know who we are and someone comes right up to us and says, you're a terrible person, you're doing everything wrong, then we fall apart. When we know who we are, people can say anything they want to us, and it doesn't faze us. When we don't know who we are, even when people continue to pet us and support us and encourage us, we're always not sure. Yeah, you did that a minute ago, but you still approve of me now. Are you still going to approve of me tomorrow? And so you get into this idea that it's never enough. And if someone doesn't quite act out the way that you thought they were going to act out, then you're lost. So I think that the way to have the countries and the politicians of the world experience peace is for every citizen in every country to know that they are safe within their own bounds and that they don't need anything from anybody else. And if we could do that inside of ourselves, to know that, yes, of course people are going to think we're wrong, and isn't that what we want to be? Don't we want to think out of the box? Don't we want to try to go for what we can see? Don't we want to reach for something more? And if people laugh at us and if we fall on our face, so what? Boy, I'd rather fall on my face 100 times, 1,000 times, and get up and try again than live a life where I just am so insecure about who I am that I'm never going to try anything. And those people end up at war. They end up at war with their exes. They end up at war with their parents. They end up at war with their children. They end up at war with their jobs. They end up at war because they don't know who they are. Because who we truly are is an amazing expression of God in form as us, always calling us to be more, to be more, to be more. And when we follow that, when we trust that there is wisdom within us that will guide us and light us on our path, we're okay. Doesn't matter, you get fired, all right. I mean, it may be a bump in the road, but I'll pick myself up. Go bankrupt? So what? You know, bankrupt is forgiveness. It's legal forgiveness. It's bankruptcy. People go, oh, good, bankrupt. I go, great. Legal forgiveness. What? They left me, it's divorce, all that stuff. As long as we know who we are, it doesn't matter. And as long as we know who we are, we don't have to draw a line in the sand, and we don't have to go to war. So, on this International Day of Peace with Barbara, hanging on to her stool. It's a stool. Thank you. Hanging on to her stool. I encourage you to take at least the rest of this day and don't go to war. Don't go to war with yourself. Don't go to war with the people around you. Don't go to war with the red lights. Don't go to war with the political ads that come on between the football. Just don't go to war. Don't go to war with the food that you eat, because you know you're going to eat it anyway. So don't go to war with it. Just don't go to war. Find that place inside of you that is the eye of the storm, that is that still place. No matter how things are spinning around you, no matter how many things are in chaos, there is that within you that is always, always, always at peace. Happy International Day of Peace.